everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Homemade Indian Food. Today we are going to be making the most highly requested dish that we've received on the channel so far, and that is Hyderabadi Dum Chicken Biryani. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do this. We have the co-star of the show. We have our chicken. The other co-star, the rice, curd, onion, coriander leaves, mint leaves, a whole spice mix, green chili, ginger garlic paste, fresh lemon juice, some saffron milk, coriander powder, turmeric powder, and a special biryani masala. That's it for the ingredients. Let's go ahead and get started making the Hyderabadi Dum Chicken Biryani. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to marinate the chicken. So we have our chicken in a mixing bowl. We're going to add the curd, the lemon juice, the ginger garlic paste, the green chili, the turmeric powder, the cardamom powder, and our special biryani masala. We'll get this mixed really well and we'll allow it to marinate for 2 hours. The recipe also says it's best if you can let it marinate overnight, but we don't have the time today, so 2 hours is what it's going to get. One of the things that I've done to the chicken is I've also scored the thick parts of it. I'm using both legs and thighs scored so that the marinade can get down deep into the meat. Well, to really get the marinade down into the meat, a spoon just isn't going to cut it. Gonna have to get in there with your hands and massage that marinade into the meat. Okay, now we'll get this covered and we'll set it in the fridge and we'll allow it to marinate for 2 hours. I have the kadai over a high heat. I have about 4 tablespoons of oil in it. Now we're going to brown the onions. So while the onions are browning, we're going to go ahead and get the rice started. I have another pot with 6 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of oil, brought it up to a boil. Now we're going to add all of our whole spices for the rice. And we'll let this boil for 5 minutes and then we'll add the rice to it. The boiling of the spices will really bring out their flavors. Now the onions are finished. I'll turn the heat off and I'll remove them from the kadai and put them onto a plate to drain the oil. It's just about time to add the rice. Okay, now we'll add our rice to the boiling water and spices. And we'll get this cooked until it's about 3/4 of the way done. We don't want to cook it all the way. Okay, I think the rice is about 3/4 of the way cooked. We'll go ahead and get it out of the pot into a strainer and get rid of all the excess water for it. Okay, so we have the rice cooked about at 75%. We have the chicken that's been marinating for 2 hours. Now I'm doing something a little bit different for the pot that we're gonna cook the biryani in. We're gonna put the tawa directly onto the heat. That way the pot that's cooking the biryani won't have that direct heat on it. And I'm using a nice cast iron pot so the heat will be evenly distributed throughout. So first thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and get our chicken layered on the bottom of the pot. Take off the wrap that I covered it with. And I have a little bit, so the oil that I used for browning the onion, I put that into the bottom of this pot. So I transferred that over. Now we'll get all of that nice masala marinade onto the chicken as well. Since I'm using both legs and thighs, I'll try to get those evenly distributed across the bottom of the pan as well. So we're gonna add half of our browned onions, half of the coriander, half of the mint over to the layer of chicken. And then next we'll layer our rice over this mix. And then we'll do another layer of the onion, mint, and coriander. Now we'll layer our rice over the top of the chicken and herbs. And once we have the rice layered on, we'll add the rest of the onion, the coriander, and the mint over the top of that. Okay, now we'll add our biryani masala over the top of it. Just sprinkle a nice light layer. Now we'll drizzle some ghee over it. And next, we'll drizzle our saffron milk over it. Now we're ready to start the dum process, and we'll get it cooking. Since this is a nice heavy cast iron pot with a heavy cast iron lid, probably didn't have to go all the way and use a bunch of dough on it, but you know what? We're trying to be authentic in making these recipes, so let's do it. So I'm using a Lodge cast iron Dutch oven for this. We're not sponsored by Lodge, but there's a cool feature of this lid. So these points here on the top or the underside of the lid, what that's going to do is that's going to capture the moisture and allow the moisture to drip off, and it'll self-baste while it's cooking. It's a pretty cool feature. So now we'll go ahead and get the lid on and get it all sealed up, and we'll start cooking. It's probably a bit much. I mean, this heavy cast iron lid will seal it fairly well on its own, but this is pretty cool doing it this way too. We are having fun with this. Okay, I think I have it all sealed up. We'll go ahead and turn the heat on, a medium high, and we'll let this cook for 20 minutes. Now that our 20 minutes is up on medium heat, we'll turn it all the way down to the lowest setting, and we'll let it cook for another 15 minutes. The 15 minutes are finished on the low flame. Now we'll go ahead and turn it all the way off, and we'll let it rest for about 20 minutes now. Okay, the 20 minutes of the resting period is up. We'll go ahead and take the lid off now. The only thing to do now is put it into a bowl, and we'll put it to the test. Wow, how does that look?
It looks really good.
Smells wonderful.
It smells fantastic.
Ready to put it to the test?
I am.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Well, let's do it. Yeah, there's some things that I would have done differently, but being the first time, didn't know. Now I can make adjustments on it.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and eat this with my hand.
And I will not.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, wow.
Tremendous flavor.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of spice.
A lot.
Oh
my gosh, it's so good.
The spice is right on. The texture is way off.
Oh.
It's too wet.
Yeah.
I needed to allow the rice to dry more than I did. And I really needed to make sure that I didn't have as much extra marinade on the chicken. I think that added to
that
the
probably
additional
did
moisture.
add the moisture. You're right.
But the flavor's awesome.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, the flavor's a 10 out of 10. The texture's like maybe a 5 out of 10 at most. Maybe a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, it's wet. Right, just flavorful.
Yeah.
I'm going to try it with the raita you made.
I'll try a little bit too. Yeah, so in addition to the link to the recipe for the biryani, I'll also put a link to the raita and the biryani masala recipe that I used. That was also from a different site.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should cover all the recipes. We'll have a total of 3 recipes in the description for you.
This is really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the flavors of the dish.
Yeah. And you followed the video. Really close.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't get the moisture level correct. Too much moisture in there.
But it's so flavorful.
Yeah, some of it did vent through the dough, but apparently not enough.
Oh my goodness, though. So good.
Kids sure are going to enjoy this. We're going to take the pot over and they'll have it for dinner.
Yes.
Mumzies and I are just going to eat a little bit of it. We can't eat a whole lot of meat nowadays.
No.
Just finding it very hard to digest.
Yeah. But they will love it.
Yeah, and that's why I kept the spices out of it too. I didn't put the red chili powder in, knowing that Juliet was going to have it for dinner. And Mumsies.
So good.
It is. The meat's just falling right off of the
really
bone.
is.
It really cooked the meat well. Yeah. And scoring the meat like I did, it really allowed the spice to get all the way deep down inside of the meat.
It truly did.
Yeah,
The meat is very flavorful.
that was a good recipe that I followed. I'm really happy with the recipe. I'm just not happy with the execution on it.
Nope.
But for, like I said, first time.
Yep, that happens.
Yeah, rices are particularly tough. You either get them too moist or too dry.
Oh, wow. So good.
Yeah, the flavors though are just right there, perfect.
On the raita. I always like that anyway.
So for today's Q&A, we have a comment from Raj Singh, a really good comment that I think could help the channel. He was saying, why don't we post into more Facebook groups links to our videos? Truth be told, Mumsies and I don't belong to any Facebook groups. So, we don't even know which groups to go out and post to.
Right.
But we would appreciate it if you're a member of a group and you wanted to post a link to our video. Feel free.
Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really wonderful.
Yeah, I think that would help the channel. Everyone wants the channel to grow and be successful.
Yeah, all the comments have been just so supportive. That would help.
Yeah, post it into your Facebook groups or your Facebook page and share it with your friends and family as well.
Yeah.
That would certainly help.
Yep.
Well, Sushant Hulawale, what will we be eating next? Thank you for your patience. I know that you've had the request in for quite some time. We're trying to get through the backlog as quickly as we can.
We are.
Doing daily videos will help that somewhat. But it seems like every time we do a dish, we have 5 more requests.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
we're never truly going to get caught up.
But we're trying.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can for you.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. We greatly appreciate it.
We do.
And thank you to everyone that recommended the chicken biryani.
Yeah.
It really is a good dish to learn how to make.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah, and hopefully our kids will enjoy it as well. And Juliet.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah. Well, until next time.
Bye.
It really does taste good.
It does.
So good.